Good evening, everybody! Welcome back to whatever the fuck this is. The home brewery, the things, the stuff, and
Hi!
the people, and
Yeah!
dear God, I made you loud.
We stuff people here!
Only with their consent.
Yes, absolutely. Consensual taxidermy. That's the word I was looking for.
Consensual stuffing. Do not forget the sage and onion.
Although, speaking of delicious animals we like to stuff,
No,
we're gonna
that's
talk about
illegal.
whales.
No, that's illegal.
But the Japanese love it, and they've never done anything problematic.
I have actually eaten whale.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
Holy shit, when did you eat whale?
Literally a couple of months ago, because my friend, who shall remain nameless,
Okay, for legal reasons, shall remain nameless.
went to Norway. Land of,
One of...
and this is true, the Norwegians.
Really?
Really? Yes. Believe it or not.
Okay.
And he brought back a bunch of food, which included whale jerky and reindeer jerky.
Damn.
The whale was
I mean,
really good.
to be fair,
That's the
we
problem,
should
it was
cook more
really,
reindeer.
Really good with the
Was the
reindeer
whale
was quite
really,
lean,
really
as
good?
you'd expect, but the whale was really good.
God damn.
Yeah.
Jay, did you just advocate that we murder all of Free Willy's cousins?
I mean, Free Willy is a war criminal, so maybe not the best example.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
And
Also,
you know,
probably less edible.
probably. The adrenaline makes them chewy. It's the yeah. It's I do believe that I did utter on the night. Damn, maybe the Japanese had a point. But speaking of the Japanese have a point and whales, let's make another Yu-Gi-Oh monster into a D&D monster. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a project. Once again, we are only going to do one monster this time. And it's going to take us even longer because we're going to do it next week as well. Because this is one of the few monsters where we had like a very clear idea for it. Because we are talking...
We had a clear idea. Isn't that a rarity?
I know. We are talking about the mighty Fortress Whale. Which...
Just in case the intro wasn't clear enough.
Exactly. Which, if you can see from this picture, is both a whale and a fortress.
Now, what, dear brother, could one do with a whale that is also a fortress?
War crimes, obviously. So...
I love that mostly because, obviously, the setup was for something else and you went in with that, but
Yeah.
also because it is exactly what I was thinking.
It's also true. This is why we don't harm the whale.
Threefold is this joke.
It's got
It's
layers,
great.
man. It's got layers. Like blubber.
It's got layers. It's got honesty, it's got subversion, and it's got meta. Fuck yeah, we here, we doing it.
Who said we weren't funny? So anyway, yeah. Because Fortress Whale is both a fortress and a whale, we're going to do those two parts. We're going to do the whale, and we're going to do the fortress. Basically, we are going to create a monster this week, and then we're going to create the dungeon that is on the back of the monster next week. It's probably not going to be a very big dungeon, but it's a dungeon.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
For any of you D&D nerds who have ever gone, damn, the Leviathan just isn't big enough.
Yes, I have done that.
This is for you. I have also done that.
Yeah, anyone who wants to do their Jonah and the Whale, second act of Pinocchio, fucking that one episode from every 90s cartoon where they went inside somebody, we're gonna go for every single one of them had one. Hey Dragon, how you doing, man?
Oh, welcome, Dragon. We're glad to have you. Things aren't going to be sensible.
We're doing war crimes with
Things
whales.
are never sensible.
We're making a monster this week. We're gonna do a dungeon next week.
But they're the same thing!
Exactly. So, The great thing is, Fortress Whale, while it had... We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it last week.
What do you mean last week? We didn't do anything last week.
Not us, Chris.
Oh.
Yes. We're not going to talk about it.
No, I'm not talking about that. I wasn't here. I didn't do anything.
When you go, won't you bring back a letter from
Jay.
America? Ah!
Jonathan, you know what? That was one of the few times I was proud of your microphone for cutting out.
It's probably a good thing. I'm very tired, everybody. I'm very tired. And I'm sorry that you are tired as well, Dragon.
I would say that we're going to be... I would say that conference and shit. That's very fair. That's very fair. I was going to say, we would offer a restful stream, but that would be a fucking lie.
A complete fucking lie. We are going to be talking bullshit for 2 hours and whoop. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
So, Fortress Whale. Whale that is a fortress. Now, the great thing about Fortress Whale is that it's the key piece of the deck of one of like the early villains, the early like Java villains, the Freaky Fish guy.
The Freaky Fish guy.
The Freaky Fish guy. But
technically, it's one of 2 key cards because he also has his dad.
Yes, he also has his dad.
His dad is a card. Yu-Gi-Oh has great lore.
Educational conference talking about AI literacy and education. Wow, that must have been a big one.
I was gonna say that sounds heavy.
Yeah, that's a lot. But also very important. So good for you.
Hugely important, especially given the number of essays that are now getting trashed in high schools because of
and universities.
And universities because of recognition of shit that isn't AI, but they think it's AI because it's just generic.
Yeah, here's the thing. A friend of mine is doing her PhD at the University of St Andrews, and she did come in to me and be like, well, because PhD students are essentially the lowest of the pecking order in academia, they are basically drafted in as cheap teachers. So she came up to me and was like, I think I've had my first AI generated essay. And I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway, Fortress Whale. The card itself.
Whale is a fortress.
Whale is a fortress. Fortress that is a whale. Where does the whale end and the fortress begin? Doesn't actually have any abilities. Yeah. It doesn't have any abilities as a card. No. So we can just fucking make shit up.
Absolutely. And that's our favorite thing to do.
Exactly. So I'm going to say this is a gargantuan.
This is one of those times where I'm like, there should be a size a bit above gargantuan.
There absolutely should be. I'm going to say gargantuan brackets titan, because that is some things.
Fair enough.
And here's the thing. Now, I want to just do a quick thing, because the only thing I can think that would actually fit this would genuinely be if it was a beast. I am going to very quickly check the Dominate Beast spell and see if it has an upper CR limit.
I mean, that would be really funny. That would be really funny.
Right, because the spell Animal Friendship doesn't have an upper limit on its CR. It just has to be a creature with an intelligence of 4 or lower.
Okay, so we can make it, more intelligent than that, and we're immune to animal friendship.
Yeah, I think let's just make it immune to being charmed, because I'm just looking at things like, right, could one druid just take this entire thing over?
It does feel a little bit, broke if we were to let that happen.
I think it would be funny as shit.
It would be funny as shit, but let's...
Dominate Beast is a 4th level spell. Yeah, there's no upper limit on Dominate Beast.
Fuck's sake.
Well, that's the thing is, there's not a lot of power. Like, your actual strongest beast creature in any of the guides is a T-Rex.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that because
T-Rex.
D&D is bitch basic.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, beast is a classification that's not often used.
Well,
You'll probably see
underused, or certainly mainly used in early game.
Yeah, like you'll see wolves, you'll see bears, you'll see all that shit. But genuinely, if you go on Kobold Fight Club right now, pretty sure the highest CR creature, the highest CR beast is a T-Rex, and it's the CR9.
I
think
had
that's
thought
true.
it was something more, but I could easily be wrong.
I think
I mean, certainly the T-Rex I think was the strongest in the base
absolutely.
game, like monster manual.
They haven't really added too many beasts. They're mostly monstrosities. I mean, we could make this a monstrosity.
We could.
Yeah. Let's make it a monstrosity. Or should we go with beast just for? Should we go with beast just so that the druid can cast speak with animals and hear this thing going, "Fuck you"?
Was that even a question? Yes!
Beast.
There we go. Right. I've got all of my monster books up. That's what I was looking for.
Titan. Because this thing is fucking colossal. What should the alignment of a fortress whale be? I'm gonna get my books out too.
Well, let's have a look, because a lot of beasts are actually neutral. They're not generally evil.
Yeah, they're usually aligned to their, just to survival, but this clearly isn't.
No.
Well, look at that face. That is malicious. Almost
I don't know if it's malicious. I think it's probably just big and dangerous.
Lawful neutral? It obeys orders? I think this is a military creature.
Yeah, I suppose that's kind of the thing. It's military. It's designed to be.
Look at those eyes.
It's designed for warfare.
Look at those eyes.
To be piloted.
Those eyes, they are built for naval gazing. And these teeth for naval grazing. I am very tired and I don't know why. I'm so hard.
Oh god.
Hello, new person.
Hi,
Hecate. Hecate.
Yeah.
Hecate. Hecate. Hecate 95.
Hecate.
You curse us, I swear to fucking God.
Choose your pronunciation of ancient Greek deities.
I will stick with Hecate.
That's alright then.
Hecate.
The 95th face of Hecate.
Yes. Don't fucking curse anybody.
As long as it's not Hecate.
Oh god, what was it that used that?
I have no idea, but it was something.
Oh, that's
He's just found by you. Class.
Oh, that's clicked something in my brain that's unpleasant.
Have I created some strange trauma harking back to like probably some 90s cartoon?
Oh, I probably. Anyway, gargantuan beast, lawful neutral, armor class, fucking huge. It's going all right. We're making a whale into war crimes. It's fun.
Oh.
We're doing
a whole whale of war crimes.
It's a monster with a dungeon on its back. We're doing the monster now, dungeon next week, because we are but two men.
Yep. Minsk and Boo's Journal of Villainy. There is
Baal
Ravager. There's a base CR 2024. Oh, that's fun.
I've got Boo's Astral Menagerie over there.
I'm assuming Minsk and Boo's Journal of Villainy is one of the many and various third-party books that I definitely don't have access to.
I doubt it, actually. Minsk and Boo are actual characters in the Forgotten Realms.
Oh! I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Minsk the Mad Rashomar, and Boo, his miniature giant space hamster.
I mean, I love Giant Space Hamster.
I wish I was making all of this up. They are in Baldur's Gate 3.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, I will say I have now found out that Tyrannosaurus Rex is a CR8 monster.
Oh, I thought they were CR9.
Well, no.
Just means you can cast Polymorph a level early. It's not third party. It must be one of the more recent ones because I haven't actually heard of it. I've got Boo's Astral Menagerie on the shelf over there. But
or it's going to turn out to be D&D 3.5, like the last thing Dragon came up with.
Oh, that's a good point. Did they change the CR calculations between 3.5? I do not know. I don't know enough about 3.5. Considering how we're now using 5.5, we're not. I'm going to build. I'm going to get my hands on the new DMG and the new Player's Handbook, and I'm going to build my own version and call it D&D 5.25. Oh, it's 5e. That is just something I've never heard of.
Excellent.
I fucking have fun with it. Heck, it's actually really fun. I got this template off of Reddit. I do not unfortunately remember. I mentioned it in the first stream we did, but I do not remember the username of the guy I got this off of. I'm very annoyed about that. I should actually just write his name on the thing. But it's a good template. Didn't include the damage, vulnerabilities, resistances, and immunities and condition immunities in the basic. I had to add that, so be careful. If not, and you're willing to use D&D Beyond, although you probably shouldn't. Yeah, the monster is a ritual monster from Yugioh. Yeah, we've been specifically adapting Yu-Gi-Oh monsters into D&D monsters because it's fun.
With varying degrees of success.
Yeah, last time we just went off on one. Trying to do.
Last time we were very tired.
We were very tired.
We didn't stay on task.
No, we didn't. I do believe I called the video "Struggles of Staying on Topic." Right.
That's a good name for it.
I think right. This
you want to hear something funny though?
Yeah.
Just while we're not on topic, Giant Ape is CR7.
Oh.
Which means D&D definitely thinks Godzilla would win.
Godzilla versus Kong, yeah. Right, we need to give this thing a big fat AC.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, no, fucking yeah, creative space, go nuts. I want to give this thing a big fat AC and big fat hit points.
Yes. God, yes. It needs
just
to be
Godzilla
enormous.
But monkey.
Fuck up with your butt monkey.
But monkey.
Your butt monkey would get his ass kicked by the giant lizard.
God almighty. Anyway, AC, I'm thinking genuinely very high. Give it at like a 23.
Yeah? I mean, it's meant to be. Like, we're in, Kraken, Ancient Red Dragon. We're in that territory.
Oh yeah, we're dealing with serious power here. I am not going to put down a specific CR for this because it's meant to be like CR calculations are hard at the best of times. Oh,
I think. Oh,
we've got to allow that. Dragon's allowed to say "fuck off" in our chat.
Absolutely.
When I say it.
I was gonna say. How dare Twitch prevent people saying "fuck off" in our chat?
In a big fuck off way. That's the thing. I'm not thinking in terms of how hard it is to hit it because it's huge. But I'm thinking no.
Technically,
here's what we should, because I'm thinking about armor. What we should maybe do is actually not give it a high AC, but treat it a bit like an object and give it a damage threshold.
That's actually a better point because the adventurers aren't going to be on this thing.
How do you miss a whale?
Yeah, especially if at some point you go like inside the fortress. That's a very good point. I hadn't thought of that.
I stab the floor. Right.
Absolutely.
So,
well. I made that joke before the stream just to ruin his day. Thank you, Dragon.
We love having you back, Dragon, but also fuck off. Right, so let's bring the AC down quite low, make it like a 13.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you can't miss the walls.
Yeah, you can't miss the whale.
But we should have similar damage thresholds to ship combat.
Yeah, do you want to bring the rules up with that? Because you're the one who's actually run ship combat.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Let me find it.
Because I never did.
It was alright.
I'm gonna give it hit points somewhere in the 500s, because this is like... Fighting this thing should be a whole deal. What I'm thinking is, a way that I would maybe sell this to Dungeon Masters is, okay, you have a monster with a dungeon on its back. One of the ways to deal with the monster, as huge and unstoppable as it is, would be to go into the dungeon and disable it.
Yeah.
Like, you can face this thing head on if you are suicidal enough. But the main idea would be you go into the fortress and you disable various bits, deal with the small monsters that are in there, which we can do another time. And, you know, and disable its various bits. Because I want to give this thing a once a day cast of the 8th level spell Tsunami.
Fuck yes. Right, okay, so let's talk about ships. Now, D&D didn't really do official ship combat. It did. There's an Unearthed Arcana that heavily covers it.
So giving it
Which is mostly quite good. So with a ship, you get size, kind of capacity for carrying things, traveling, ability scores based on some nonsense, and it gets vulnerabilities, resistance, and immunities. So like all ships are immune to blinding, charm, deafen, exhaustion, frightened, incapacitated, paralyzed. Like, because you can't do that to a ship because it's made of wood.
Yeah.
So we maybe not go with all of those.
Can't charm wood. Bard
Siege
Druid
damage.
Disagrees.
Apparently so.
Well, I'm definitely
Would
making
siege
it.
damage rules come into effect?
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
maybe.
making this a siege monster at the very least.
Absolutely.
Like, this thing will do double damage to objects and structures.
Yeah, but let's talk about. So you want to talk about damage thresholds? Ships, D&D broken down into components. You damage different components. It disables different parts of the ship. If a ship component has a damage threshold, threshold appears after its hit points. Component has immunity to all damage unless it takes an amount of damage equal to or greater than the damage threshold. So a lot of things you're looking at. Oh, where's it all sitting? So like,
Maybe they would.
Ah,
Like, maybe you can run this as you have the fortress whale as attacking a port city, and you have to run like cannons and catapults and stuff to repel it, and then in order to like, so you kind of strand it, and then in order to deal with it, you send your party out in little boats to get in there and go So yeah,
or
there are
alternatively,
ways to do this.
Alternatively, you do it Digimon style. You do it when they're crossing the ocean and the whale fucking eats them and they have to climb through the dungeon to get out.
Exactly. When in doubt, do it like Digimon.
Do it like Digimon, absolutely.
That's been our motto on this channel for ages. Do it like Digimon.
Exactly. We do so much Digimon content on here, Jay.
Yeah,
How
all
much
that Digimon content
have we done?
I am. There was always a little part of me genuinely that is quite happy that Digimon has still survived, and that the Digimon trading card game is still going pretty strong.
I mean, that blows my fucking mind.
It makes me kind of happy.
Blows my mind.
I'm never gonna play it, but it makes me quite happy.
Fair, very fair. So
I'm off the cardboard crack.
A lot of ships, we're looking at damage thresholds of like 20, 15.
Yep.
That kind of amount. It's nothing really. Yeah, 20's the highest, you know, for warships and things like that. So yeah, that feels doable.
Yeah.
And also it means, like, in theory you could throw this against maybe not like top level players, but you could throw this quite happily against, you know, some level 8s. and they can, start to dish out things above 20. Like, that feels like something that's doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hecate, I think we're gonna give it more than a couple of attacks. I want to give this thing a big bite. I want to give it cannons. I want to give it like a super cannon. There was a thing Chris and I discussed.
Strafing.
Yeah, there was a thing Chris and I discussed previously. Because there's a couple of... Because Fortress Whale got a retrain into, I think it was called Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness.
Yeah, it was the not quite as cool cousin.
Yeah. But that had a couple of monsters that went with it, which were called Cannonball Spear Shellfish and Torpedo Fish, which are basically just ammunition as monsters. And we were going to kind of do something with that as well.
I was going to say, Dragon will tell you, we fucking love monsters as ammunition.
that whole thing with Catapult Turtle. Yeah.
We like monsters that interact with each other and their environments.
I mean, that's the other thing.
And or are their environments.
That's the other thing, Chris. This thing's got to have layer actions. Like, it is a layer.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's got to have layer actions.
Yeah. If the layer is fighting, of course it has actions.
Right.
At least one of which has to be a really stupid 90s sci-fi, like, lasers everywhere attack.
Fuck yeah. Bludgeoning.
Absolutely.
Piercing. And slashing. It's got resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. It's got resistance to cold damage. As you will tell us, we fucking love using monsters as ammunition. Because you were here for the Catapult Turtle stream. That's what we're talking about, Dragon. Yeah, it was fun. I still want to throw that at a party. It's gonna be a good time.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Why not?
Anything else this thing should be vulnerable to? It's resistant to?
I mean, probably not in terms of like damage resistances.
The bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, obviously. I'm giving it cold as well.
Yeah, cold makes sense.
Basically, anything that lives in deep ocean should be resistant to cold damage.
Yeah. Although, you know what else would be cool since it lives in deep oceans?
Mm-hmm.
Resistance to force damage.
Pressure.
Yeah. Pushing down on me. Pushing down on you. No man as foe. And let's face it, absolutely no one is going to go to this thing thinking it's got fucking force damage resistance.
That is true. It's like Eldritch Blast! No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Your Eldritch Blast did nothing.
Oh. This is why Eldritch Blast should be a class ability and do different things. We didn't do it stats.
Yeah. No!
Because I'm giving this bitch a 30 in strength.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Like, this thing is going to have...
I think that...
I'm thinking Mahusive Strength, Mahusive Con, shit Dex. It's a whale. They are not known for being maneuverable.
So, again, if we're looking at... ships. Ships generally have Strength, Dex, and Con, and nothing else. Now, this obviously would be different because it's a whale. It's a beast.
I'm gonna give it some intelligence.
Thing.
I'm gonna give it some intelligence and like a little bit of wisdom. Probably not give it good charisma, but I do want to give it a really, really big boost to intimidation.
Yes.
Because you see that motherfucker. Nature. You see that motherfucker rising out of the ocean. You're going to panic.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
But just to let you know that in terms of ship combat, Strength, Dex, and Con are the really important ones. So those all need to be pretty high.
So I'm genuinely maxing out Strength at 30. I'm gonna give it a 28 in Con.
That works.
Yep.
Then, if we're looking at alternatives for ships, most of them are sitting. You probably like a 10 would be a really nimble ship.
You mean a plus 10?
No, I mean a 10, a score of 10. A lot of ships like Your highest score for a ship on Dex is an airship at 14 Dex. Everything else is sitting lower than that.
This thing is
But
big
Dex is
and bulky and artillery. This is not nimble. I want to give it an 8.
deal. I mean, I would be tempted to drop it down to a 6 just for sake of fairness.
I mean, that's already a -1 on his dexterity saves.
I mean, yeah, that's probably enough.
Yeah. As always, dexterity saves will be the undoing. It has to have...
Yeah.
I'm going to give it base, just flat intelligence. This is as intelligent as a person.
Yeah.
Um,
That's fair.
I'm going to give it a little bit more wisdom, though. I'm going to give it a 13 in wisdom.
Right. I'm tempted to, having just agreed with you, to give it a 10 in intelligence. We knock it down to an 8 because technically it is a weapon of war as opposed to a soldier.
Do you mean the intelligence or the wisdom?
The intelligence. Maybe drop it down to an 8.
What, you saying guns can't think? You saying guns don't kill people?
I'm saying guns do kill people, but also they're not supposed to think too hard about it.
Yeah.
As soon as they start thinking about it, they get a conscience.
And that, I believe, was the pitch for the Iron Giant.
It was, yes.
It was, actually. I was like, what if a gun
Absolutely.
could feel?
Then it would feel bad, kiddo.
Superman.
Such a good film.
It's such a good fucking film. Charisma. How do we feel about charisma?
I'm kind of cool with your idea of like low charisma, but a massive boost to intimidation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't think this thing.
Oh yeah, Vin Diesel was the voice of the Iron Giant.
Vin Diesel has a really interesting like voiceover career. He's been in a lot of really strange places that you don't expect him.
Right. I want to give this thing.
And then of course, you know, he just
Right. So, I'm thinking give it really good boosts to perception and intimidation.
Oh yeah.
Because
that's fair. It needs it for being underwater and shit.
And targeting.
And aiming.
Yeah, and also probably give it a really... I'm gonna give it an insane athletics score.
I mean, fuck yeah.
If we go by...
What else are you gonna do?
If we go by what I've done so far, it's gonna have a +20 to athletics.
Excellent.
I try and grapple the whale.
I'm so here for this.
Oh, do you?
At least one fuckwit's gonna try though, and it's gonna be great fun.
And it will be you.
Probably.
You tell me.
I am that fuckwit.
You are that fuckwit. You are the one with the double enlarge who will try and suplex a whale.
In fairness, I've only ever really done that with one character, but he is a good boy.
And you're having so much fun with it.
So much fun. It's so good.
Oh
man. I know.
So
I'm so grateful.
Athletics, perception, intimidation. Any other skills we want to give
it? Nature.
Really?
Yeah, it's a whale.
Okay.
It talks to the fishes.
It sleeps with the fishes too, but you know, that just makes it a slag.
Well, in that case, you should also give it animal handling, shouldn't you?
Hey, there you go. Nature's a wisdom skill, right?
Yes.
Cool. Alright. This thing does not have any vulnerabilities. Fuck you.
I was gonna say, the fuck is this gonna be vulnerable to?
Do we want to give it any,
Smelling like a fish would make it a slag!
Slag!
You slag!
Do we want to give it any... Well, slag would be immune to fire damage. Do we want to give it... I'm like one of the cleverest jokes I've made in so long.
That was a solid pun right there.
Well, it helps with burning sensations.
Excellent.
And also slag being molten metal.
Absolutely.
Can cast heat metal at will. Should we give it any damage immunities? Because I'm thinking maybe change the cold from a resistance to an immunity.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if this thing was a Pokemon, it would have Big Fat.
Yes.
And I've given it condition immunities to charmed, frightened, paralyzed, prone, stunned, and restrained. Is there anything?
I mean, as long as it's immune to all status conditions, definitely don't let it be charmed or frightened, for God's sake.
Yeah. Poisoned.
Imagine if the dungeon tried to run away while you were on it.
I forgot poisoned.
Yeah.
It's like it can't willingly move close to the source of its fear. The source of its fear is on its back. Dive, dive, dive!
Suddenly it becomes an episode of fucking Stingray.
Ah! God, that's a fucking deep cut. Lesser known Jerry Anderson puppet shows.
For all the people who are like, Thunderbirds isn't edgy enough.
Yeah.
I need more undersea drama.
Thunderbirds doesn't involve enough shagging mermaids. I'm going to give this thing a constitution-based spellcasting modifier because fuck you.
Just to be an actual asshole. Actual question, what happens when the thing dives with the people on its back? If they're inside, I think we're probably safe.
Yeah, basically we're going to seal... It's going to like seal up its things. Like, mechanically speaking, what we're going to do is we are going to give it the ability to dive. But it's kind of like a charge up. Where on the first turn, it sounds the alarm. And then on the second or third turn, it dives.
I was going to say,
not inside when it dives, you are drowning.
I mean, that then... You could almost making it like a video game. Like you're taking like some rounds outside, get indoors, do some rounds inside in a separate area, come back out, do more rounds outside. That's quite fun.
Lots of options.
Yeah, or you can make it a puzzle, or we can make it a puzzle boss. This is all for when we're doing the
a lot of stuff. Because there's going to be some interior bits, there's going to be some exterior bits. Because this also means that you have the party has the option of trapping the enemy outside.
Yep.
As it's diving.
Although the enemy will probably be fishes.
Well, the enemy might be fishes. They might not be.
This is true.
This is the thing. Is also
always an option to not be fishes.
One thing I will say is that dive attack, I would want that to happen while the players are exploring the dungeon as well.
That's fair.
Because then that gives extra tension. It's like, oh shit, we got to get inside, or like we've got to cross this space in 3 turns, or we are fucked.
Fair.
That gives us some. You can cast the following spells requiring no components. I want to give it Tsunami once a day, and I can't think of any other spells it would have. Possibly Tidal Wave.
Tidal Wave works.
At will.
Tsunami, Tidal Wave, anything that makes a large wave.
I wanted to cast Tidal Wave at will.
At will. Sure. You know what? Fuck it. Why not? Who's gonna stop you?
Exactly.
Me?
Also, just for the Free Willy reference, let it cast Jump 3 times a day. Boom! This thing's fucking 400 feet long and it just goes boom!
Like, I don't even know if you can upcast Jump, but you can cast Jump at 9th level. Yeah. Just clears whole cities as it jumps.
The sky goes dark as the fortress whale
sails
arcs over your town and beaches itself in the next forest. Oh my god. So that's innate spellcasting. It's not going to have actual spellcasting.
Hey, you want to hear something? You want to hear another funny, unrelated thing? Because I've just been looking at different beasts that are available in the background. Yes, Tyrannosaurus at CR8 is still the most dangerous beast in like base 5e apparently, aside from this CR24 one that Dragons found that I need to go and look at. But Volo's Guide to Monsters has a little appendix on non-player characters, and the one it's got for the Apprentice Wizard is fucking Luke Skywalker.
I beg your pardon?
It's fucking Luke Skywalker.
You know I can't bring up.
Alright.
You know I can't bring up Discord. Well,
Let me. Can you? Oh yeah, you can't bring up
I
Discord.
can't bring up Discord while we're streaming.
Fucking. Well, I don't know if you're just not gonna get to see this then. Tell y'all now. This is fucking Luke Skywalker.
Fuck you, I have Discord on my phone. It just takes ages to load.
Also, I love that because I've got two screens open. When I take a screenshot, it takes a screenshot of both screens simultaneously.
Womp.
What do you mean? What's fucking Luke Skywalker from Star Wars?
His sister.
Specifically in this episode, Star Wars. What's fucking Luke Skywalker? His sister. Solid. I appreciate that. Yeah. So the apprentice wizard in Volo's Guide to Monsters is Luke Skywalker. From specifically Star Wars Episode 4, Luke Skywalker.
Could have just said I have my copy of Volo's Guide right here.
Yeah.
I was looking
also, yes. Jay, you got the joke, and life is fine. And I didn't, because I am special. An inverted form of jump, like it could dive to immense depths super quick.
I mean, kinda, yeah. We're gonna be diving deep. But it is small
yeah,
whale, so it does
like
have the surface. And yeah, fuck, you're right. That is Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. And they say that
God damn!
Copying is. They say that mimicry is the sincerest form of flattery.
Like, Yugioh did an entire archetype of monsters that was Star Wars crossed with the Wizard of Oz, and it wasn't that fucking blatant. I wish I was joking.
Or it could be a massive version of Vortex Warp. I don't know Vortex Warp. Tell
Vortex
me about
Warp.
Vortex
It's
Warp.
the thing that Garen used in our last session where he forced that guy to teleport.
Okay, I think I may have tuned out at that point. Garen used a bunch of spells that I were like, what the fuck are these?
Well, you finally have a full caster in your party. He's got access to the high level
we've legit
shit.
not had a... we legit have never had a full caster in the party. We've got a bunch of filthy crossbreeds.
Yeah, which makes so like all of you can cast magic. None of you are full casters. Like you and Kelly and William have all now dipped into full casters.
Yes, because she's warlock. Yeah,
Wizard.
Kelly's a warlock wizard.
I'm
I'm paladin sorcerer.
And William is taking the first level of our infernal domain cleric,
which is delightful.
Yeah. I am also going to give this thing a three times a day, once a day cast of control weather.
Well, that's exciting.
Which is not the scary thing. It's, yeah. But I am also going to give it a 3 times a day cast of control water and maelstrom.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same. Like it's one of those phrases that is truncated so often.
Imitation is a serious form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness.
Yeah.
Hey, that is. God, I love learning full versions of sayings. It's like one of my favorites is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Which is, I'm just like, it's great because it gets subverted to the opposite meaning by people who didn't like it. And you're like, no, it's great. And I suppose imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness is kind of similar. Because everybody's like, oh, if they copied you, it's because they love you. And you're like, yeah, it's because they're shit and I'm fantastic.
It's the same as the customers
I love
always...
that.
The customer's always right in matters of taste is the full phrase. Which is amazing.
Absolutely. Because they're only right in terms of what they like.
Right. So, abilities.
Yes.
Let's do the dive.
Absolutely. So we need Mega Dive, as per Dragon Craze. First recorded version of the Blood of the Covenant version is later than the base one. First recorded version of the Blood of the Covenant. Swap the first version with use. Okay. Interesting. That's okay. I have mini strokes all the time.
Chris?
There was a joke in there that I wasn't going to make.
Now you've hung a lantern
Don't
on
you
it.
make it either, Jay.
I was going to say,
No.
now you've hung a lantern on it, which some people would consider very impressive. He is, I'm not.
This is true, I am. Oh dear. It's fine. It's fine. My wife also puts up with my terrible sense of humor. Oh dear. Oh, it's all for the good. Right. Yes, abilities. We need a mad dive.
As an action,
You wanna
Force
say-
can sound an alarm announcing that it is about to dive underwater.
Now, here's a question.
Yeah.
Do you want to make that an action, or do you want to make that a layer action?
Ooh.
So I think it might be a layer action. I feel like diving is a very good example of how we would make this a layer, how we would incorporate layer actions into this creature.
Okay. So, yeah, a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking mechanically, because layer actions happen on a specific initiative.
Yeah, start of the round, I think.
Initiative 20, not start of the round.
Okay.
They happen on initiative 20. Which is often the start of the round, unless you're playing with a ranger.
Or a rogue.
Rangers have more. There's more rangers with abilities that let them do stupid shit to their initiative.
This is true, but
Rogues just
also
have good
just
decks.
rogues.
Or anyone
Yeah.
with the fucking alert feat.
Yeah. Although I'm fairly sure that actually paladins get a thing that gives them some advantage on initiative at one point. I'm not sure.
Glory paladins do.
No, it's because my initiative is currently 2. That's why. And I was like, why do I have a bonus of 2 to my initiative as a paladin?
She has got a sorcerer thing.
It might be a sorcerer thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Fuck, I'll dig through. It might, to be honest, man, it might be something to do with one of the magic items I've given you. I'll dig through your character.
I
later.
mean, yeah, it's good life.
So yeah, sorry, just looking at layer actions. So layer actions are actually, they don't exist on this bit of the sheet. They exist.
No, we're gonna need to make a bit of the sheet.
Exactly.
Absolutely. What do you do if there's not enough space for your whale? You make more space.
Layer actions. Oh, excuse me. On initiative count 20. Losing initiative ties.
Mm-hmm.
Ties. I spelled the word initiative wrong. Which I can't tell because there's a fucking stain on my screen. The fortress whale takes a layer action to cause one of the following effects. Ah, goddamn it! I missed a T. Dive. So, are we going to do the staggered thing? Oh, actually, should we be really cruel and say that it announces its dive on the layer action and then dives on its turn?
No, that's too far.
Fair enough.
Because think of what happens if it gets a really good initiative roll.
Or there's just anyone who rolled after it. Anyone who dumped
Yeah,
decks.
exactly.
They're like, oh, what do I do?
People would just die.
You drown.
Yeah.
That's what you do, Cecil. You drown.
Like, yeah. Why Cecil?
Because he fucking deserved it.
Cecil? Jesus. Right. So I'm just looking at the Kraken because obviously, in terms of very large water creatures with layer actions, it's one of the additional
Kraken
things.
and the Leviathan are kind of your ones to go for.
Yeah.
Are the elder elementals in here?
I was thinking completing at the end of the round or the following round.
I think on initiative count 20 again. On its next layer action, it dives.
Fair, and that, to be fair, gives everybody an opportunity to move.
Yes. Everyone gets a chance to move.
Yeah. Now, right. Although, actually, Krakens, they get legendary actions, they don't get layer actions.
Krakens don't get... layer actions, again, are not in their stat block. They're next to it, and you're not going to find them on 5e tools or anything. Yeah, I know. See if the Elder... I'm going to look at the Elder Tempest. That also does not get a layer. Jesus. Why? Why? I've got the Leviathan, so I can look at that for layer stuff.
Here we go.
Yeah, layer actions are a bit weird.
Yeah. On initiative count 20, can take a layer action to cause on the following effects. Can't use the same effect 2 rounds in a row. And it'll say can, so it is optional.
Well, of course, because layer actions only happen when the creature is in its lair.
Yeah.
Which, of course, this is going to be one of the few exceptions to, because it is its own lair.
Exactly. But yeah, hags have layer actions, which is pretty cool.
Oh, hags are way more dangerous than they should be.
I mean, and that's beautiful.
And, you know, there's never just one hag.
True. Also, layer actions for storm giants.
Yep. There's a whole adventure for storm giants.
That's cool.
The Storm King's Thunder.
Elder Brains. Now that's something with a good layer action that actually might be kind of
Elder Brains have layer actions. I've been taking the format from Silver Dragons, but
that's very fair.
Just because that's where I opened the book to.
1 layer action to cause one of the following effects. The Elder Brain. Right, this seems to be the commonality with it. Is on initiative, it'll take 1 layer action to cause one of the following effects. Cannot use the same layer action 2 rounds in a row. So that's the limit on. You know, you can't just dive every other fucking turn.
Yes.
Got to do something else.
I'm going to put another caveat on dive. On that, it has to surface before it can dive again.
Yeah. That's fair.
On the next round, instead of the layer action, because otherwise we're gonna have it diving and the layer action and another layer action going off at the same time, and that's insane.
Yeah. No, that's very silly. But we definitely need to have some layer actions that are cannons firing.
Yes,
or the floor
absolutely.
Electrifying or something.
Yeah.
To fuck people up.
Any creature... within the Fortress Whale's lair, but not indoors. Immediately begins drowning. And there are rules for drowning.
Yes, there are.
Immediately begins drowning. Those creatures must also make a. I say they make a strength save to keep their position. And I'm gonna say they're moved a certain amount as they lose their grip on the whale, but they're not flung off, because if they're flung off, that means you can just lose a player immediately with this.
Yeah.
Like anyone who hasn't put strength in is gonna get moved. I'm gonna put a decent. I want to make this like an 18 or a 20, like a serious strength save.
Yeah.
We moved 40 feet in the opposite direction to the whale's movement.
Sure.
Because like whales going that way, they're getting flung off that way, going ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, that. When should we make it surface?
You want to give it like, because you don't want to separate the party into rooms for ages. Do you want to do like 2 rounds?
I was thinking 2 or 3 rounds. Yeah. We're gonna handle what's gonna live inside the fortress next week when we do the dungeon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we create some minions.
We're gonna do some minioning.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Fuck yeah.
Realistically, in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh monsters that are going to live inside Fortress Well, it's going to be a lot of Umi adjacent monsters, and also the previously mentioned Cannonball Spearfish and Torpedo Fish.
Yeah. What I might do is, just to expedite things, I might get some stat blocks and reskin them to be things like Atlantean Pikeman.
Yeah.
And like some lower level water monsters.
Can we also get some robots? We need some watery machines in this boy.
Do you want some wet robots?
I want some wet robots, Jack.
Some soggy automatons?
I want some soggy automatons. I need to use the salty grinding of gears. Ojama Captain!
I'm not gonna lie, Chris, I was genuinely thinking, what if we did the Ojamas as a joke and make them like really hard to kill but just fuck with you monsters? Like, they can't do any damage, but they've all got really, really high defenses and shit.
I mean, I'm well for that. I think that... Yo, Aether, how do you feel about the captain of the giant Fortress Whale being a panty-wearing lunatic?
Who's just an egg shape. Like Humpty Dumpty if he got real weird with it.
Humpty Dumpty, but he molested the chicken first.
Fucking hell.
Sorry, that reaction was worth it. Also, one of the things that I'm learning, looking through existing monsters with layer actions, is a layer action really is do whatever the fuck you want. Like,
there's a reason why
this
a lot
really
of monsters,
is like
their CR actually changes if they're in their layer or not.
Makes sense.
I haven't seen JoJo's, I'm sorry. I know there's an orangutan in there somewhere. I'm sorry, do you think I spelled the word defense wrong? You can spell defense with a C in it, right?
Defense does have a C in it.
Yeah. Are you being fucking American, you bastard? Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. It was being American on me.
I was gonna say.
I was getting Yankee on me, you cunt. I know you. I know they
like
behave
how
like the world. I know they behave like the world police, but they don't have to be the world fucking grammar police.
This is like how Americans spell center with ER at the end. It's just weird.
And meter. They do meter the same way.
Yeah. Like, damn.
Have it.
Pervy primate. Your accent came in. Yes.
It does when I'm fighting other cultures.
Exactly. When we engage in culture war, that is when the accent gets strong.
The accent comes out super thick when we're up against freedom!
To be fair, that was like the 3 years that I lived in England were the 3 years where my accent was at its strongest.
Yeah.
It was quite fun.
I have dealt with so many Americans working in the place that I do, and the accent comes out a lot.
That should be the tagline for the fucking stream right there. The less I understand you, the more worried I get.
Yep.
Excellent.
Anyway, defense group.
Right.
I'm saying we give it a layer action where it zaps everyone inside.
Fuck yeah, I think we should give it a layer action where it zaps everyone inside. And the thing, of course, is that if we do it we should do it so that it also affects the minions. It's everybody.
I'm just saying all creatures.
Yeah.
Remember when I had the worm guy eat that mind flare? Yeah, it's very important, the wording of certain abilities. Because you can have your monsters eat each other if you're not careful.
To be fair, that was great. I was very concerned at that point because Samson had like 2 health.
Yeah, that ability is not as good as you think it is because it doesn't actually heal. It doesn't actually heal them. It gives them temporary hit points.
I mean, I'm quite cool with that, frankly, given that, you know, Starspawn lava mages are awful and I hate them.
Oh, trust me. Yeah, here's the thing, Chris. RuneSmith just brought out a video about the Starspawn and he did a little combat run with them and I went, oh my god, I've been running these things wrong. They're so much more dangerous than I thought. Because there's an ability of the Starspawn Hulk that has not come into play yet. For context,
I'm afraid for our campaign.
For context, I've been throwing a lot of Starspawn at my players for lore reasons. And also, they're very fun aberrations. So, make him do a dexterity saving throw or get zapped.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
What DC?
I think if we assume that it's good, this is more for like wide ranging than it is for heavy damage. We set it at something like 16.
15.
Okay, 15.
This is probably gonna be like the dive is a huge one. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
This is gonna get used a lot more.
Yes.
Or take. How do you reskin a Starspawn? They don't have skin. One of them, a couple of them are just made of worms. No, Starspawn are genuinely really, really fun, and I do recommend you watch the Runesmith's video about the Starspawn, because the little combat encounter he runs is just like, how does any adventuring party have any hope against these things? And that was before they even got to the Starspawn emissaries.
Let me rephrase that. I'm going to skin a Starspawn. First, I'm going to give it skin, and then I'm going to peel it off.
That's so horrifying. That was so. Like, first, I'm going to give him skin, and then I'm going to peel it off.
That's how badly I'm going to fuck this thing up.
It just reminds me of my favourite piece of knowledge that I have of, admittedly, my very limited knowledge of South American deities. That there is a god of household chores and farming, who is simply known as the Flayed God.
Delightful.
Yeah. Which I learned about this from overly sarcastic productions, and I'll never forget just Red going, "Household chores? The man has no skin!" But it's really cool. Apparently he flayed himself and like basically shredded his skin and turned that into grain, into the first grain. Shipe Tosek. It's one of the ones that's actually fairly easy to pronounce. South American, like Incan and Mayan languages are so hard. They're so
I was gonna
hard
say,
pronounce
that's
and
just like...
romanized. They're so hard.
I'm just... Because, I mean, like, Celtic mythologies are pretty grim.
Oh yeah, we've got
Greek
them all
and
again.
Norse ones are quite tame. Egyptian ones are quite tame.
No!
The Mayans... I know so little about, like,
It's all blood sacrifice.
South American
and a reign of
cultures
jaguars.
and things. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, like...
It literally
your Mayan
rains jaguars
deities
in one of the previous
particularly.
worlds.
Yeah, it's just blood and viscera and death.
It's all blood sacrifices. It's all blood.
Delightful.
But this thing's, a lot of mythologies have their common roots. With the Incans and the Mayas, it's all blood. With the Norse, it's all beer. With the Egyptians, it's all river. It's all about rivers. It's all about sunsets, which makes a lot of sense when you look at sort of like geography and culture surrounding these things.
That's fair. So you're saying it's about the most important liquids to each culture: river, beer, blood.
And in the case of the Greeks, jizz. He's really got skin in the game. Is that a you Pastor Ryan emoji? Great gods, they were always fucking something.
That's true.
As for the Greeks. Anyway, how many d8s of lightning damage should we do?
I was thinking either 2d8 or maybe 4d6.
I think we should keep it maybe low.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, right, it is, yeah. Sorry, it just looks a lot like that one guy on TikTok. But yeah, I think keep it... I think maybe make it 3d6, because it's going to be using this layer action quite a lot as the players are moving through the dungeon.
Okay.
So I think we should bring it down to...
Yeah,
3d6.
3d6 lightning damage. In which case then, I have a suggestion. Hey, what do you make, birdie?
Yeah.
We love Ryan. I make dead things.
Hey, Bowen,
And then
what
I
do you
start
guys
with
make,
the living, and
buddy?
then I make them dead.
We made our first convertible airplane.
Was that during the war? Maybe.
I was talking about Boeing.
Oh god, fucking Boeing. Right.
No.
Fuck. Brain. Shit. Bastard. Right.
It's all UK English, you bastards. Don't you fucking...
So that's 2 layer actions we've got.
Yeah, we've got the big dive, which is the big one. We've got one that hurts people that are inside. I want to do one that hurts people outside, and then cannons.
I had one that hurts people outside that is cannons.
Yeah, okay. As in people who are in the
Basically
layer
do
but
like
outside.
Yeah, basically like a kind of a small casting of meteor. Like it's a radius attack, hits one place with a big shell.
Okay.
Don't make
Self-shelling.
Make planes with suicide doors. Don't you mean fun parachute doors, Dragon?
It's the first
for all
plane
the
where you
family.
can. It's the first plane where you can go outside to smoke.
And if you go outside and hit the engine, you go outside and smoke.
And then if you complain about it at the company or whistleblow on them, you can go outside and get smoked.
Hey!
Trip of your lifetime.
Trip of your lifetime.
DB Cooper ain't got nothing on this.
Hey, we could do Flying Fortress Skyfire after this.
Oh my god, we're not doing Flying Fortress Skyfire. Hey, it could be worse. We could do the like Greiger's Darksider monster, which was literally just an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Skyfire was at least like a flying fortress plane anthropomorphized.
Yeah, but no, Greiger likes planes.
It's like, what should we give him for his monster of darkness? We'll give him a whale and an aircraft carrier. That's it. Let's go.
Absolutely. What else do you need?
The worst thing is he legit has the Earthbound Immortal that I use the most in the video games.
Fair.
Because
I mean, also, he arguably, of all the dudes who appeared in like that Fortune Cup final in the first arc of 5Ds, he has the best deck.
yeah, because he's playing like a rock solid burn deck.
An absolutely rock solid burn deck.
Yeah.
Boeing, your flight comes with a complimentary copy of Tom Petty's
Free Fall. Because I'm free falling. Hopefully it's not a Freebird strike.
No. That's honestly, I'm like, people bitch about Freebird. I feel like Free Falling has been done more than Freebird at
People
this point.
guitarists bitch about Freebird because people always ask them to play it, and it's a really hard song to play. That's always the thing with Freebird, is there's always some idiot at the concert yelling for Freebird.
And that's why we did... Yeah, and that's why we invented Wonderwall.
Because Wonderwall's so easy. Also, Chris missed my Freebird strike joke.
Hey! I did, didn't I? I did.
Self-shelling. All creatures within a... Should we make it a bit like a fireball? 20-foot radius?
Yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah.
Centered on a point within the whale's lair, but outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
That the of the fortress whale's choice must make a what kind of saving throw? I mean, it's bombing, so it's another dex.
Dex.
It's another dex save.
Yeah. It's another dex.
We're
not clever
here. Should we make
It's
a
another
slightly
dex
higher save because it's a smaller area that's being targeted?
Yeah, I'm up for that. You want to make it a DC 18?
I was thinking 17, but yeah, let's do 18.
Gem?
Dexterity saving throw, or take a fireball's 8d6, right?
I honestly can't remember. This is one of those things about D&D, because I'm so used to everybody being like fireball. I was like, well, I'm not going to do fireballs. I've actually never.
Because we are.
I don't think I've ever actually used it.
Like in the same vein of I created an unhorny bard.
Exactly.
I created a bard where if anyone
Just
did horny things at them.
8d6.
Yeah, it's 8d6.
8d6 at third level.
Okay. Should you do like a lower grade fireball and call this like 5d6 fire damage?
Yeah, that works for me.
Because again, this was one of these things that can be repeated a lot.
Yes.
5d6 fire damage. Or half as much on a successful save.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like lightning spells in D&D are bitchin'. Like,
we need
lightning bolt, lightning lure. There's
This is
some
the thing.
absolutely phenomenal lightning spells.
The lightning spells you have are really good. Problem is, it tops out at chain lightning, which is a 6th level spell. There's no good. The only spell that does lightning damage beyond that is Storm of Vengeance, and it doesn't do a lot of lightning damage. And it's more about fucking up a very large area. So basically, yeah, if she's wanting to do lightning themes, genuinely 2 levels in Tempest Cleric and your DM will hate you.
Hey.
Because
but
I once,
also, yeah, 2 levels in Tempest Cleric.
2 levels in Tempest Cleric, and if she goes Scribe Wizard, she can ruin everyone's fucking day. Because I did that once. I did that as a level 5 build, and I blew all the windows out of a building and killed all the mimics inside. It was very funny. Oh, Thunderball.
It's a good life.
I mean, yeah, don't fuck with the diviners. Don't fuck with the diviners. Don't fuck with divination wizards. Just don't, because they've seen that you've already lost.
To be fair, yeah, divination wizards fuck shit up.
Yeah, divination wizards are.
We had
and real fun, but they're not as absurdly broken as everybody says they are. But they come in unbelievably clutch.
Oh god, yeah, and that's the thing that's important.
Yeah,
is that if you've got you know, a divination wizard who knows when to use their rolls. Yeah. Like it can turn the tide of anything. Tempest Cleric.
If you did that as a Gestalt character, you would end worlds. We never did the other half of that a spell of every level video. We should do that at some point.
Oh yeah, that was ages ago.
Yeah,
I'd totally forgotten about that. Well, that just means we can make a 9th level lightning spell.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
We
can just paralyze everyone.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that the perfect name for a lightning spell, for a 9th level lightning spell, has already been taken.
What's that?
Divine Smite.
Hey. I don't think that's your perfect name for a lightning spell.
And if I'm so evil, then let God strike me down where I stand.
Well,
nice try, jackass. Next time, bring your A game.
What's that from?
Dragon Ball Abridged Frieza.
Oh yeah.
There's literally a bit in the fight where Frieza gets struck by lightning. In the Frieza Goku fight, he gets struck by lightning. It's amazing.
That's so dumb.
I know.
So
it's
dumb.
I love it so much.
Just.
Dragon Ball Abridged. It's really fantastic.
That's fair. I mean, it's just one of those. I'm like, I've tried to rewatch Dragon Ball Z twice. I tried OG Dragon Ball Z, which no one should ever try and rewatch.
Hey, there's someone in the chat here
so
who's
much
trying to
longer than you think it is.
There's someone in the chat here who's trying to watch One Piece from start to finish. Ether.
But no. On One Piece is less of a trial than Dragon Ball Z is. All right, One Piece at least things happen. Dragon Ball Z takes, I think, 50 episodes of Goku training in space to get to Namek. After we have had 100 episodes to get to him getting into space. I'm not even kidding. Alright, that's OG Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z Kai shortens it down to like a mere 70 episodes or something.
That's more episodes than you said in the first place.
No, a total of 150 to get from beginning to Namek.
Jesus Christ. Do we want to give this thing another... So yeah, Dragon Ball Abridged is the best way to watch it. My advice, turn on the subtitles, specifically the Canadian subtitles, because it includes basically director commentary of them taking the piss. I'm not joking. Go watch Dragon Ball Abridged and turn on Canadian subtitles, because there was an option for subtitles in English and Canadian, and it occasionally just cuts to just like someone writes in parentheses, someone just making a little comment. It's really funny.
Excellent. Okay.
It's really good. It also includes the line, well, you know what they say, when you fall off that horse, you get right back up and you eat that horse. Come eat that horse with me, Vegeta.
Yes, that one I'm familiar with.
I love that one. I'm gonna use that one until the day I fucking die.
Oh Christ!
If my dying words are "come eat that horse with me," then I will die happy. Should we give this thing another layer action?
We've given it 3.
We've given it one, like a big one for outside, and one for inside.
I need an adult. I am an adult is a classic. That's just like.
I do love the way they capped that off was Gohan going, I need an adult, and Goku going, I am an adult, and Gohan's going, no, you are not.
A real adult.
No, you are not.
Like Krillin.
That was the end of it. It's like Piccolo. Piccolo's the adult there.
Absolutely.
We all love Papa Piccolo.
I do really love, and I don't think in Dragon Ball Z they make a big enough deal of it. In Dragon Ball Abridged they make a big deal of it. It's like, you know, Gohan just goes up to Piccolo and goes, "You're my real father," because somehow the abusive training that you put me through is better than the abuse my father put me through.
At least Piccolo was there.
Yeah.
At least
Like damn.
At least Piccolo was there. At least Piccolo was alive.
I know, right?
So I think we're good on the layer actions. Should we start going into the actual actions?
Yeah. Let's look at some actual actions for this thing that you're gonna fight. Yeah, by fighting the walls.
I'm gonna call it. Yeah, we know the damage threshold. We were looking at
20.
Yeah.
Lower it if you want to make it more accessible, but I'm like 20 feels pretty solid to me. That's big warship territory. And basically the way that you present it is you present it, well, I would put it under,
it's in features and traits.
For this I would put it under damage resistances and immunities probably.
No.
But in your ship stat blocks, it goes after the hit points.
Oh, okay. How's it written?
So basically, it goes hit points, number, brackets, damage threshold 20, close brackets.
Sweet. Cool. I don't need to come up with a language for that. Thank fuck.
Yeah.
First things first, though. Siege monster.
Yes. Siege monster, and also, what languages does it speak?
I've gone with Common and Aquan. It shouldn't speak.
Is
Common.
Aquan a language?
Aquan is a language. Aquan is the elemental language of the plane of water.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, because there is the language primordial, and there are the 4 languages that make that up: Terran, Aquan, Auran, and Ignan.
Nice. Well, Krakens speak primordial, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
There you go. It's just one of those languages where it sounds made up, and I know that's, you know, a lot coming from me.
I played a character that spoke 9 languages once.
You told me about that, actually.
It's not the one you think. It was the ranger.
Okay.
It wasn't the scholar. It was the ranger.
To be fair, easier for a ranger because
Really
you're looking at
easy.
OG ranger. You just get loads of languages. It's great.
Yeah, like Swarmkeeper Ranger. I got like basically all of them for free.
Yeah.
Half elf Swarmkeeper Ranger.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's good.
First whale deals double damage to objects and structures. That's it. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
What other things should we do?
Fucking Leviathans just don't speak. Also, a Leviathan has a lower CR rating than a Kraken, and I think that is an absolute travesty.
Yeah, the Elder Elementals are weirdly disappointing.
Yeah.
Although they're really fucking dangerous.
Damn.
Like, the Elder Tempest I look at and go, damn.
Fair enough.
Like, if this thing has a breath weapon that is a mile long.
Jesus. Okay, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah, we're... Yeah. Screaming Gale, legendary action. The Tempest releases a blast of thunder and wind in a line that is 1 mile long and 20 feet wide.
Only 20 feet wide!
Only 20 feet wide. It is a beam.
Fair.
Objects in that area take 4d10 thunder damage, and they must do a DC 21 dex save.
Fuck that general direction. It's exactly
Yes!
correct.
Or take 4d10 thunder damage and be flung up to 60 feet in a direction away from the line. And then it just like, hey, if you smash into something, here's the falling damage. And if you hit someone else, you have to do a dex save or get knocked prone.
Excellent.
And also the fact that the Elder Tempest...
The Phoenix is definitely the worst of them.
The Phoenix sucks.
I'm not gonna lie, the Phoenix sucks. That's sad.
Yeah. Elder Tempest. I love the fact also the Elder Tempest, this gigantic primordial living storm, can squeeze through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide.
What?
Airform. The Tempest can enter a hostile creature's space and stop there. It can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing.
I love that. That's amazing.
Insane. It's such a fucking mishmash mental creature, and I love it so much.
Leviathan can do the same.
Yeah, because it's made of liquid.
Yeah.
I mean, the Zaratan causes fucking
my
earthquakes whenever it moves.
That's very fair. That's a big turtle, though.
It's a big turtle. Also, the Elder Tempest has got a fly speed of 120 feet. And they can zap you from a mile away.
Pretty majestic.
Fuck you and your you think your Eldritch Sniper build is hot shit? Watch this.
Oh, man.
This thing's gonna have legendary resistances as well.
Yes, absolutely. So we have legendary resistances.
3 per day.
What else are we on for abilities? Because we're not even on actions yet. We're on abilities.
Yeah, we are.
We've done skills. We're on abilities. Oh dear.
And this is just the boilerplate stuff.
Yeah.
What like features should this thing have?
It's an excellent question.
You should do something about the fortress itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not sure what. Oh, we were gonna do things about the internal things.
There, we need internal things as well. That's a very good point. So,
I'm just gonna call this fortress.
Enemy
weapons.
spawning?
Well, no, it's just the like if these internal things are destroyed, the fortress will loses access to these abilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And
do you want to do that as part of the map though, or do you want to do that in the?
I want to do it in the stat block because I want to give this thing like some fucking insanely powerful actions that can be knocked out by these things.
Cool. Right. All right. So if we call it, I don't know, like.
I'll call it fortress weapons. Just.
Yeah, fortress weapons or like power cores.
Yeah.
There are a number of internal weak points which, if destroyed, render the equivalent action useless.
And I'm genuinely just gonna put a. I'm just gonna put an X there because we'll decide what abilities we give it, and then we'll fill in that later.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think we should be like, if X many cores are destroyed, you lose this many actions, just because that'll be easier to write, rather than
that works for me.
Specific thing. A DM can change that if they want.
Yeah, exactly. They can set it to a core for each specific cores, or we can do it by numbers.
I'm gonna do it by numbers default, just because that will be easiest to write and easiest to build on.
Yes, sorry, I agreed with you.
I'm not trying to cause an argument. I'm clarifying and trying to be clear for anyone who might be listening.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, I feel like it's now we're getting towards the latter end of the stream.
Yeah. We've been surprisingly on topic.
I was gonna say we've done pretty well, actually. I think, generally speaking.
And we'll just do yada 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 for that. Internal things. Any other like large scale features we want to give this thing? Because this might turn into a 3-part. This might turn into a 3-part stream.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah. Well, it also means that we can finish this and do the minions next time.
Yeah.
And then do the dungeon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Positively.
So that could be real fun. Any other like big kind of monster features we can give it? Because this is a big creature with a dungeon on its back that is going to rock up to port towns and fucking shell them to shit.
I mean, I don't know what a lot of other kind of specifically like siege type monsters.
I want to give it a regeneration that can be knocked out by one of its power cores.
That works for me.
Yep. And I'm going to give it like a really crazy regeneration so that you have to take this out. You have to take the core out before you fight this thing to make it like doable. So I'm going to say it regains 50 hit points.
Cool.
At the start of its turn. Like seriously, I want to make this thing truly fucking insane if it's at full power. And then you knock the power cores out.
Yeah.
And it's a reasonable fight. So I'm gonna say 2 core, like, it also, yeah, if you knock out 2 cores, if it has 2 cores left, it can take 2 actions in a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just go completely buck wild with it. I'm gonna give it a giant core. Like a giant cannon. Like, if you knock out 2 cores, it stops being able to do this. Let's call it multifunction. So yes, anyone planning to run this, do not attempt to just throw this blank at your players, because you will kill them.
Yeah, it's not about that life.
Like, I want Offbeat Outlaw to look at this monster when it's at full power and go, that might be too much to throw at a level 20 party.
I mean, that's not gonna happen.
It's not.
Offbeat Outlaw's gonna be like, this is your homebrew? Shit. Get better.
Fuck yeah. For Fireball.
For Fireball.
Yep. Right, let's give it. It needs actions and it needs legendary actions.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it.
So.
Yeah.
I wonder if. Well, no, because it's all gonna be tied to the energy cores anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So, what attacks? We need a basic cannon attack.
Big cannon.
Probably a basic laser attack.
Basic laser.
Multi-attack.
Multi-attack, of course.
I
I want to give it a big ramming attack with the horn.
Yeah.
And maybe like a tail splash
So
attack.
things for like ship-to-ship combat.
Yes. So for ship to ship, I want to give it the cannons, the horn, and a tail splash.
Okay.
Which will be more about like movement and shit. But for regular combat, it'll be cannons and like a bite attack. And yeah.
No, it won't have a bite attack for regular combat, because regular combat is when it's the dungeon.
Yeah, so the cannons, like smaller cannons, can target itself.
Yeah. Cannons and lasers. Lasers and cannons.
Lasers and cannons, people.
Exactly. When life is hard, shoot your feelings. With
Tom's
lasers.
did a song about that. It's called "Shoot All Your Problems Away."
I know, it's great.
Yeah.
We love Tom Scott and shoot all your problems away.
Can take. I'm gonna say 3 legendary actions for now because we're not gonna get onto the legendary actions. Sorry, I was just typing this up as we were. So multi-attack. Cannons. Lasers. Bigger cannons. Ramming horn. Ramming horn. It will cause you great harm. Oh god. Tail slap.
It's alright, we're nearly there.
Anything else? Any other attacks you should have?
Oh,
giant cannon. Give it like a
giant cannon.
Fight rip-off Digimon. Giga cannon.
Giga cannon.
Giga cannon. That was Machine Dramon's thing, wasn't it?
It is actually, yeah.
Recharge 5 to 6. Like that's one of the things. Giga cannon is gonna be the thing that if you knock out all the power cores, it disappears because it's gonna be like an insanely huge blast.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. It's like I can wipe out a town.
Yes.
And shall we also say again, based on the power cores, if you destroy unless you destroy 3 power cores, it can make a shitload of attacks per action.
I mean, I think multi-attack should be like 3 attacks.
Yeah, I was thinking like make it 5, but if you destroy enough power cores, it comes down to 3.
I mean, maybe 5, and then you destroy 1 power core, knocks down to 3. 2 power cores knocks down to 2. 3 knocks it down to 1.
Because then it'll scale too far down, and we still want it to be able to like make multiple attacks in a turn when you're fighting.
Well, remember, each power core is going to be guarded by mini monsters.
That is true. That is true, actually. So I'm going to add that into the power cores and the multi-attack. Add it into the multi-attack and say, the fortress
spawn minions.
Whale can attack a number of times equal to its remaining power cores.
So we start with 5 and we knock it down.
Yeah, start with 5 and knock it down.
Cool. One of the legendary actions though needs to be summon minions.
Yeah, cool. I am just gonna give it the minimum of 1, so it can still attack when you knock out all of them.
Yeah. That's fair.
Legendary actions. Summon minions.
Yeah.
Fire cannons. Fuck fishes.
No fucking fishes. Not even the same species, Jay. Jeez!
Chum bomb.
Whales are mammals!
And you're saying that mammals don't get it on with anything they can find? You've been to Aberdeen. Yeah.
I can't think of anything else besides just like attack and summon minions that would make good legendary actions.
Maybe like a quick dive?
Nah. You could do an earthquake. It's like a deck save, knock everyone on their ass.
Deck quake.
Yeah. The fortress whale shudders and everybody falls on their ass.
Spout. He does a water spout.
What would that even do?
Rain on people and create difficult terrain.
Blow someone into the air?
Possibly blow someone into the air if they're on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to change its saving throws.
Fair. Would be quite funny if you just have like a dark spot on the map that you don't explain to anybody, and then they're too close to it and it just goes poof.
Just goes, fire in the hole! Yeah, like you're not getting this thing to fail at strength or con. Yeah, because basically we've got 10 minutes left of the stream. We're just gonna lay out the idea of the actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the important part. Damage rolls, forget them.
Yeah, 5 cores, you knock out the Giga Cannon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cannons is gonna be
yeah.
for hitting ships, right? And lasers are gonna be for hitting people.
That sounds sensible.
So yeah, for hitting ships, lasers. For hitting people, bigger cannons. For really hitting ships.
Mm-hmm.
So the smaller cannons can actually target self. Ramming horn for impaling ships. Tail slap for knocking ships about.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking, is something that can do forced movement on a ship would be really dangerous in ship combat.
Phenomenally dangerous in
Ignoring
ship
the fact that I've given this thing the insta-ship killer as a spell 3 times a day.
Yes.
Because control water can just... The Moses
also,
slap.
you know, the Moses clap.
You can do the Moses clap. You open the water, the
beyond
thing
my
drops in,
chamber
you
door,
close
I
the
heard
water.
a slapping.
There are
That
no
of
survivors.
ass cheeks gently clapping.
Let my people go! Thwack, thwack, thwack.
That's yes. Moses twerked his people out of Egypt.
Yeah. Oh god.
Lord Almighty.
Nope, there is no Lord here.
No, there is no Lord here.
Giga Cannon for killing cities.
Yes.
Summon minions. Summon some minions.
Yes.
Back. Fire cannons. Shoot either people or ships. Deck quake.
Mm-hmm.
Knock people over. Water spout.
Yeah.
Make difficult terrain and send someone into orbit. I'm sorry, if someone is on top of that water spout, they're taking damage. And they are disappearing.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that we've just still set it as challenge rating 3. Also, you can't turn this thing to stone. It can't be petrified.
Do you not put petrification in the resistances?
I forgot.
I'm gonna send you
Also
a full list
grappled.
of resistances.
Also grappled.
Yeah, like fuck, Jay.
Well, I put that it couldn't be restrained in.
That's lovely of you.
I'm just looking at the Elder Tempest again and be like, right, what are you immune to? Exhaustion, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, and stunned. How did yours go, Hecate? Because we haven't finished ours because we've been arguing and talking shit and giving it insane actions. Getting a little bit of heartburn. Because yeah, I think that's us for the evening.
Aye. I think we have achieved all we shall achieve.
Well,
Hecate's got his beat because they managed to get more stuff done.
Clearly, Hecate's a badass.
Best place to share it is on Jonathan's Twitter.
Yes. Should we do the plugs now?
Let's do the plugs.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a community Discord set up at the moment because it seems like the community is kind of just us and Dragon. Dragon's the only one who keeps coming back. We love you, man. We love
That's
you
just
so much.
rude. We have a few people who come back from time to time.
Yeah.
But like we are a small people here.
We're doing this for shits and giggles. But if you send it to me on Twitter or at me on Twitter as JonathanHoney4. That's where I am on Twitter.
You can follow his games company, Old Alliance Games.
You can follow my games company, Old Alliance Games. We are at old_games. But please don't send D&D homebrew stuff at me there. Because it's got nothing to do with what we're actually doing. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. But it's delightful. And they're making horror games and shit's wild.
Yeah, it's great.
And they're going to have demos and shit soon. It's very cool.
That was a thing I meant to announce at the beginning of the stream and I got distracted. All the monsters from our previous streams are now on my Patreon for free.
That is also true.
They are there for free. Go and dig them up. It should be in the description of the stream, but yeah, I'll dig it up. If you're just gonna a second.
So yes, for anyone who does want any of the things that we've made monsters, we've made classes, we've made some other stuff.
The classes are not up there yet in full. The Infernal Domain Cleric is, and I think the Profanity Bard is. I'm currently working on turning them into fancier PDFs, but all the monsters are there.
Yeah. So yeah, go sign up to Jonathan David Honey on Patreon for free. You don't need to pay him money. You can if you want to. Look at his little face. He does deserve money sometimes.
I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of shit on Patreon starting next year, starting at the end of January. I am planning on. I've got some big plans for it. So there will be content there as well, but you will have to pay for some of that. But anything that we make on these streams, any of the classes we make, any of the monsters we make, any of the, now dungeons that we make are all going to be available for free. They will just be
because we're doing it for shits and giggles.
Basically, yeah. Sign up for like a free membership on the Patreon, and they'll be fully available for you. I'm just a little bit slow at putting them together because I am doing that one on my own, and I am bad at this sometimes, most of the time.
Also, you do have like a bunch of stuff on.
There is also there's already a bunch of shit there. There are voiced versions of all the game reviews I did between 2020 and 2023. There's some of the early chapters from my second novel. There are oh my god, there's so much stuff. There's some
So
like
much.
early devlog stuff for the project that my company is currently making. Some of the early devlog stuff when I was making it on my own as a solo boy. But yes, there'll be more stuff for my writing and for game development on there soon. But anything that is made on these streams will be there fully for free.
Yeah.
But
In the meantime,
because the writing's good.
go and support his games company, who will be releasing a demo at some point fairly soon.
By the end of the year.
End of the year, see? Just in time for Hogmanay. It's going to be great. So yeah, and that's AULD, AULD _games on Twitter
Facebook,
and various
Facebook,
places.
Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and soon Blue Sky, but we're working on it.
Absolutely, because Twitter is a hellhole.
Because Twitter is a hellhole. Twitter is a hellhole,
Yeah.
and I've made the mistake of going on there far too many times in the last few days.
And that right there is why you can only find me on Instagram.
Yes, you can find Chris
At Chris Honey Actor.
At Chris Honey Actor on Instagram. We're also on Instagram, although fewer people follow us there. Because we started the
There's
spiel.
fun pictures.
We started the spiel weird, so I've lost my place completely.
We did. I know, but it's fine. We've done all the things.
Yeah,
We plugged you. We plugged the game company. We plugged this. All of our streams end up on YouTube.
Yes.
The Brothers Honey on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
There should again be a link in the stream description for this. But yeah, they all end up on YouTube. We've got all of our previous homebrew stuff there. A lot of Chris and I chatting shit about Pokemon. Almost a year's worth of City of Mist campaign.
It's true.
Like, I checked it today because I had to use it as evidence for a job interview. Not an interview, an application. And yeah, that lasted a while, man. That was good.
Yeah.
We will hopefully be doing more actual RPG content next year as well.
Yeah.
And Chris will be running it, not me. Because fuck
I am.
Fuck, I need a break and I need to be a player in something.
You do, and I'm really excited to run a thing again. I'm so buzzing. It's gonna be really good. I've got good plans.
Yeah, baby.
So yeah, then that's 10 o'clock.
That's 10 o'clock.
We nailed
That's
that.
us. We're here every Monday. I am trying and failing to do solo streams on Fridays where I do a little bit of game development stuff because I really want to finish the project I was working on. But yeah, so we will see you next week, hopefully. Hecate, tweet that at me, and please come back. Please come back. It was very fun to see you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Bye-bye,
Good
everybody.
night.